What is up, comic fans? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, and today we're here. We made it. It's the finale, my graded comic collection, part 13, the last one, last chance to enter the giveaway, last chance to check out the amazing slabs in my collection. There's some fire ones in this video, so if you want to see what they are, find out why I have them, and check out their value, as well as enter for the CGC 9.8 giveaway. Don't go anywhere. Check this out. Huge shout out to the homies over at Big Time Collectibles. Follow them on social media. Check them out at their webpage. Do not miss out on the fantastic stuff they have going on. So let's get into it. I'm excited to go through these. There's some awesome ones, pretty much been random along the way with how I've been pulling these. And some of these you might have seen in a recent video, but we're going to go back through them and talk about why I actually have them and their value this time around. And let's get into it. We're going to kick it off with something that's near and dear to my heart. If you know me, you already know I can get pretty avatared because we have Avatar, the free comic book day edition, and a CGC 9.8. What's so special about this is it's the first appearance of James Cameron's Avatar in comic books. Now, if you're an Avatar collector yourself, you would know that it has Briggs Landing as a secondary story in there. And this is only the first appearance of Avatar the brand and Jake Sully, as this is a fantastic story that tells the not seen in the film story of how he actually jumps on this Ikran and actually tames it down. I just had to have this. I love, what is it called? Licensed content material. I love expanding on films and stuff with books and all that stuff. And this one comes in at a fair market value of $173. So that's definitely a decent one to have in the collection. I don't think that Avatar is going anywhere. In terms of comics, I don't think it is anything. But as a brand, as something that's in pop culture, I definitely think it's going to be sticking around for a while. And you should stick around as well and check out to the end of this video to figure out how you can enter to win this CGC 9.8 Catwoman Nathan Zerdy variant. So we'll be giving that away. It's been part of the giveaway for this entire video series. 13 chapters, 13 installments, 13 videos. So you have up to 13 chances to win. Next up, this is another one, licensed content. Absolutely love it. Been a huge fan of the live action movies, and this past summer I decided to expand on that, and I kicked it off with deciding I'm going to start collecting this series. I'm going to get all of volume 1, I'm going to read it, blah blah blah, and then they announced that Image Comics was taking it over, and then they announced that Daniel Warren Johnson's taking that over. Then it exploded, and it became more difficult to collect than I thought. So I was glad that I grabbed this issue number 1 of Transformers from 1984 in the CGC 8.5. Now, I picked this one up at a local convention here in Augusta called the Joe Fest, Augusta Toy and Comic Con. The seller gave me a crazy good deal on it. Got it for cheaper than any of the raw copies that were in there. Also had fun walking around that convention, hanging out with the Comic Viking. But first appearance of Optimus Prime, Megatron, Autobots, Decepticons, a lot of characters. Fantastic series. I'm still working my way through reading it. And I have another exciting video coming out really soon after this one about Transformers. So that one in an 8.5 goes for a whopping $84 right now. At least that's what the coverprice.com FMV is for it. So let's get on to the next one. And this is the last one in the collection that is in one of the comic skins, one of the grade it yourself, not grade it yourself, but slab it yourself cases, which I absolutely love these cases. They're so fun. You know, if you're not sitting there trying to buy something and resell it, and you need to like get that certified grade on it, if you're just wanting it for display purposes, this is such a good route to go. And this is from 1983, Omega Men issue number 3, and it is in a crispy near mint copy, like easily a 9.8 contender. I don't ever want to be presumptuous enough to say this is guaranteed 9.8, but this is definitely a contender. Beautiful copy. I love that it has Tron on the back, and you can see where you get to customize and make your own labels. You get some Lobo on the label, which CGC does not do the, what are they called? Custom labels for DC Comics characters. So it's great to get an opportunity to do that. This has the first appearance of Lobo and the first appearance of Bedlam in it. Roger Sliff story, Keith Giffen and Mike DiCarlo cover art. Just love Lobo. This is such a wild comic series. Omega Men is off the chain. It's like sci-fi horror pushing the limits of comics for that time. And then a 9.8, that book goes for $351 according to coverprice.com. And a 9.6, it goes down to $131. So that last jump from 6 to 8 always is massive. And so who knows what it is? I don't know. That one I picked up on eBay. A little hint and clue on how to search for key comics sometimes is that if it's something like Lobo that takes place in Omega Man's not very popular, especially still to today. It's just easy to obtain those really, really cheap. So being that there's a massive first appearance in that series, if you search for Omega Men series or Omega Men lot, some people who come across them and don't know to look for Lobo just group them together and sell them as a lot. And that's how I picked that up. I picked that up like the first 12 issues for $20. So it was kind of a no-brainer. So I'm like, I'll grab another Lobo, $20, not bad. Next up, this is one that I picked up from Heroes Con. Shout out to Big Lion Cat. My man was hunting the con for me. Came across this. They wanted $150 for it. I said, no way. I'll give you, I think I said, I've forgotten now. It's on my whole Hero Con video, but I'm pretty sure I offered him like $100 or something, or $120. And he said, no, I can't do that. So I pulled out the cash and said, $120. He's like, I don't know. And I just started putting it up. He goes, okay, I'll take it. So I got G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, issue number 1, the first appearance of these G.I. Joe characters and all that good stuff. And 9.2, which is a fantastic grade. And yeah, beautiful cover, just one that I wanted to go ahead and get. I know that after I'm done collecting and reading the Transformers stuff, I'm going to go over to G.I. Joe and start working on that next. So I wanted to go ahead and knock out this issue number 1 before it potentially goes up, because Image Comics has picked up the G.I. Joe licensing and is about to take off with that as well. So in a 9.2, that G.I. Joe has an FMV of $190 on Go Collect, because I could not find it on Cover Price. Cover Price search, whatever it's called, the search feature is terrible for this book. Like the title, it just brought up all kinds of other stuff. I couldn't get it to pull that up. So I switched over to Go Collect, and it had it at $190. Again, showing why it's important to have so many different comic book resources and tools out there. So if you checked out my channel last week, you saw I went to the Augusta Toy and Comic Show. That was the second time I went. Last year I went, and I picked up this slab from my LCS who was set up in there just because it was new at the time, and I figured I'd give it away or put it in a Legion Looter. I'll do something with it somewhere down the road. I don't plan on keeping this in the PC. I want the original one. It's on my short list of Silver Age key comics to get. But this is the reprint from 2022 for the Flash, issue number 123 in a 9.8. Just the first time that the two worlds crossed over with Earth 1 and Earth 2 with the JSA and the JLA. This is the first time they became aware of knowing each other. And it's just such a key book, such a big deal, such an important book. And that's why it got the reprint treatment. They call it facsimile. It's not. I did a whole video on the difference between a reprint and facsimile. That word facsimile is misused all throughout the community. It's just not. They're reprints. They're reprints. I don't care if it reprints all or some of the book. It's still a reprint unless it's an exact copy. That's what a facsimile is, an exact copy. So you alter the cover, you put foil on it, you slap a barcode on it, you change the price on it, the big price tag thing. That's now a reprint. But the fair market value of that bad boy is $50. Beautiful way to have and display that cover for an affordable price. The next one's not quite as cheap. Now, this one is probably my favorite comic hunting story that I have. There's so many books out there that people think I'll never own that. It's unobtainable. Maybe one day, blah, blah, blah. Anything's possible. Anything. You never know what can happen. You never know what's going to happen. If you want to make God laugh, just tell him you have plans and he'll show you differently. Because I think it was like, man, it was before the market popped. It was like 2018, maybe. It was some years ago. It was before the whole like crap that went down and all that stuff, and everyone was hanging out at their houses and comics went all through the roof. But I picked this one up and I bought it with change. So I save money in so many different ways and so many different things. And one thing I do is I never spend change. I always save it. I've got change in both my cars, and when it fills up, it gets moved inside. I got this thing here that Finn came home from the hospital with, this baby bottle thing. I just put change in. There's change everywhere. I go to my bank. I get free coin rolls. They give them to you for free if you have an account there where my bank is. I roll my change and I save it, and I save it, and I save it. And then one day, I got a message from the owner of Dead Media Collectibles saying, hey, a Hulk 181 just came through the door. You want to crack at it? and I didn't see it because I was working. It took me a couple of hours to see the message. By the time I saw it, I called him immediately. I said, yes, I do. He's like, all right, I didn't hear from you. I hit someone else up, and they're on the way to look at it. If they don't want it, I'll let you know. But they ended up getting it. Later that next month, he hit me up again, said, hey, someone just called about a Hulk 181. I'll let you know if they show up. They fell through. They didn't get rid of it. So that one fell through. And then Paul at Augusta Book Exchange, shout out to ABX Comics and Games, my LCS. Be sure to check him out if you're in the Augusta area. He showed me like, hey, I just sent my Hulk 181 in to get graded. I'm like, I would like it. I would be happy to buy that off you when it gets back. And it came back. I took all my change. I took it to the bank. I turned it into paper money, and I went and gave it to Paul, and he gave me Hulk 181 that he just got back from getting graded in the CGC 4.5. So not only is this like the Hulk is my all-time favorite character, not only is this one of those books that even if you're not a Hulk fan, you just want to have in the PC. It's one of those like one of those credit books. You know, people think it gives them status and all that, and to a degree it does. I mean, there's trophies in collecting. There really is. Let's be honest. And this is one of those books that's like that. But as someone who's completing the Hulk run, I was happy to get this, happy to add in the PC. And I was really happy that it's Paul's book because it's kind of like staying close kind of thing. And its first full appearance of Wolverine. You know, he first appeared in Hulk 180. This is the first appearance full in story and all that and on the cover. And the current fair market value in a 4.5 is $3,143 according to cover price. So it was great to have gotten it when I did. You know, it's never too late to pick up big keys. You know, they're only going to go up. There's some blue chip books that they move a little bit, but they're always going to be popular, especially with the Deadpool movie coming. It's and the Yellow Suit Wolverine going to be in that. Like it's really cool. So these next ones are a few that you might have seen recently in a video. I just got them back from CGC. This is one I just outright bought. It's such an important book again to the DC Comics history. It's like the first time they started featuring the Crisis in the DC brand. It's the first meeting of the JSA and the Justice League of America. It's the first Silver Age appearance of Dr. Fate, of Hourman, Icicle the Wizard. They hadn't been seen since the Golden Age of comics. And this is Justice League of America, issue number 21 from 1963 in CGC 5.0 with that iconic cover with the JLA around the crystal ball and the team members coming in from the cloud there. And this grade right here, this is only a $110 comic. Absolutely affordable. This should be in any DC comic fans collection. It is such a historic book for the company. Beautiful cover. So many characters featured on there. Mike Sekowsky and Murphy Anderson cover art. Just Murphy Anderson did so many iconic covers for DC. It's just gotta have it. And shout out to Rob's Fat Sacks of Comics. We got some rockets and bubble helmets on the back. I know he can appreciate that. And keeping on the Silver Age DC key comic train here, one of my all-time favorite villains and one of my all-time want list grails would be the first appearance of this character. But sometimes, especially with DC, first appearances are unobtainable, not just for their price, but finding one for sale even gets difficult. So many of these characters premiered in the Golden Age before World War II. Books are just scarce. Collectors hold on to them. It's a whole different caliber of collector that grabs a lot of those. But these first Silver Age appearances have been on my hit list for the past couple of years. I've been trying to knock a lot of the important ones off, and this was a massive important one for me. It showcased issue number 55 from 1965. It features the first solo Green Lantern in the Silver Age, the first Silver Age appearance of my man Solomon Grundy, and it has the origin of Hourman and Dr. Fate. It's Gardner Fox story again, Murphy Anderson cover art, iconic cover, beautiful. My man Solomon Grundy making his first Silver Age appearance, and it's kind of like perfect that it's one of the first solo Green Lantern stories, Golden Age Green Lantern in the Silver Age, because Grundy first appeared in All American Comics as a Green Lantern villain. So this is just a fantastic book. Absolutely love the character. Can't get enough Grundy. If you're a Solomon Grundy fan, check out the current Justice Society of America books that are coming out. He's got teased in that last issue, and they're bringing him in. Next up, this one, this was part of where I sold my Nintendo Entertainment System. The original NES I've had since I was a child. Never really played it anymore, and I typically don't get rid of my retro consoles. I still have my Super Nintendo, and I'll probably be buried with a couple of my N64s. I love them, but I was okay with getting rid of my regular Nintendo. It's just something that I knew other people would absolutely appreciate having more than I would at that point, and I was fine with letting it go. and I didn't realize how valuable a lot of the stuff was. So I traded it into a local store called Video Game Heaven. It's no longer open. It closed down during the shutdown that destroyed countless small businesses out there and didn't do a thing to help them. And he bought it off me, and I told him I just want credit. I want credit because he'd have like toys, games, all kinds of stuff in his little shop, and it was a fantastic shop. And he also have comics from time to time. So I went through all his comics, and this is one of the ones I got from him. This was years ago. I don't remember when I got it, but this book is from 1972. Len Wein story, Bernie Wrightson cover, and it's the origin of Swamp Thing, the first appearance of Lieutenant Matt Cabal, Alec, and Linda Holland. And this is Swamp Thing #1. So if you watch the previous videos, which you really should, especially to enter that giveaway, you would see I have the first appearance of Swamp Thing. This is the first appearance of his ongoing title. So I had to get it slabbed, had to get it graded. I was really happy with the grade that it came back. I thought it was going to be like a 4 or 5, but it came in hot, came in good. And then the last book, and big shout out to my homie Beckerman. Like, what a good friend. He sent me this book in a mystery box. I bought off of him for a charity fundraiser for the Make-A-Wish thing that he did over on him and Alan the Comic Viking show. And I sent it off to get cleaned and pressed, sent it to get graded, and it came in at a solid 6.0. It's from 1966. Again, it's another showcase. Showcase has so many keys. It's the origin of the Specter in text. It's the first Silver Age appearance of the Specter and Asmodeus. Gardner Fox story, again, Murphy Anderson cover and art. This beautiful, beautiful showcase number 60. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm a huge Specter fan. Just such a cool character. I love when DC gets cosmic. And oh man, I forgot to hit some values. And this one's coming in at a fair market value of $180. Swamp Thing was $192, and Grundy is $186. So all of these clocking in just under $200 in these decent grades. So they're all also pretty obtainable, like especially if you want to buy raw and gamble on the grade. But definitely worth checking out. These Silver Age DC keys are so slept on. There's just not enough people like that's really shopping them. You know, it's always smart to shop where everyone else isn't. So if everyone's chasing modern Marvel stuff, go get some real good books that no one's looking at that time. So that's the way that I do it. But again, I appreciate everybody watching to the end. If you've enjoyed this video series, let me know by hitting that thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. If you want to enter to win this Catwoman, all you have to do is leave a comment down below. Let me know what book out of this video was your favorite and put the hashtag #WeAreLegion. Coming up on the very next episode of At Week's End, it's a Sunday night live stream I do. I'll spin a wheel and draw a number off of it, 1 through 13. And I'll go to that video number and I'll pull a comment out of it. So if I draw the number 13, we'll come to this video right here and pull a comment winner from this one. If I draw the number 5, we're going to go to part 5 of this video series and pull a comment from there. So be sure to go back and leave a comment on which slide was your favorite and the hashtag on all the videos in this series. You pretty much have a week to enter because this video is coming up on a Monday, and we'll draw for the winner on Sunday. So that's going to pretty much do it, man. I appreciate everyone watching. This has been a blast to do. I got to think of another video series to do. This is pretty much like the first time I've done one of these. I've really enjoyed doing it. So if you want to show any support beyond just subscribing, be sure to check out my merch store down below. Grab you a hat, some shirt, something is a great way to support the channel, or hit that join button, become a channel member today. And that's going to do it, guys. Until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.